stood out in the car, started dancing, so it caused an accident. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
You're forgiven. I'd like to call the Board of Zoning Appeals regular meeting for Monday, June 5th, 2017 at 5:05. Roll call.
Here.
Mr. Hubbard.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Hayes.
Here.
Mr. O'Neill.
Here.
Okay. Do we have everybody look at the May 1st, 2017 approval of the minutes?
I'll move to approve them.
Second.
Mr. O'Neill.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard.
Yes.
Mr. Buckner.
Yes.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes. Okay, does anybody have any old business to bring up? Okay, at this point, anybody that's going to speak tonight, we're going to have to swear you in. Just raise your right hand. You can remain seated. Where does it say that? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Okay, I guess I read the first one. Huh? All right. New business. Variance request on the east side landscape strip from 5 feet required to 0 feet provided for the property located at 5299 Monroe Street, parcel number 7816977, STZR section 3001. Staff report.
The commercially zoned subject property at 5299 Monroe Street comprises an irregular-shaped parcel formerly used for the sale of used automobiles. The applicant wishes to demolish the existing building and redevelop the site by constructing a new restaurant with a drive-through. The proposed project went through the township's project plan review process in March 2017. The applicant is seeking a variance from the requirement of Section 3001 of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution, which dictates landscape shall be required around the perimeter of a parcel located within any commercial or industrial district. It then stipulates a 5 feet minimum setback for the sides of the parcel. This variance request is for 5 feet, thus eliminating the side landscape strip on the east side of the property. The same variance request was heard by the BZA in April for the west side of the property to allow for the placement of 10 angled parking stalls. That variance was approved with condition, the condition being that a cross-access easement for ingress-egress be drawn up and recorded for this parcel and the adjacent parcel to the west. The applicant owns the 2 parcels located to the west of the subject property at 4700 Nantucket Drive and 5305 Monroe Street. The original development plan called for the parking area of the proposed project to straddle the parcel boundary with the parcel to the west. Not only would the project be on 2 parcels, it would be in 2 jurisdictions, Sylvania Township and the City of Toledo. The applicant is asking for this new variance in order to place the entire project in its current version on 1 parcel. Currently, no landscape strips exist on the parcel as it has not been redeveloped since the current building was originally constructed in 1954. The applicant will be providing the required minimum 5-foot landscape strip in the rear of the parcel. As stated in the previous variance report for this parcel, staff finds that the irregular shape of the lot combined with its small size makes the subject property exceptional and challenging for commercial development. This is compounded by the required minimum 120-foot building setback from the center line of Monroe Street. The applicant, by redeveloping the site, will be improving the site and adding landscape that currently doesn't exist along the south side of the parcel. Staff recommends approval with condition of the requested variance from the minimum side landscape strip requirement for the east side of the property from 5 feet to 0 feet for the property located at 5299 Monroe Street. The condition being that a cross-access easement for ingress-egress be drawn up and recorded for this parcel and the adjacent parcel to the east, as was done for the parcel with the west. Failure to meet any conditions the board chooses to attach to an approved variance may result in the revocation of that variance.
Okay. Anybody anybody in the board have anything to ask right off the bat? Does anybody have a comment to make? Come up to the podium, sign your name and address in.
I'm Ken Russ with Legends General Contractors, and as we stated, we tried to put everything onto this parcel. We have spoke to the neighbor to the east of us, and he is in favor of what we're doing because of the improvements we're going to make to the property, obviously, and we're going to change the setback requirement, from where the building sits now. So he's very excited about us changing it and being able to do that. So I know that's the one that impacts the most, is the one along that side. So we didn't realize that this was going to be an issue for both being in Toledo and in Sylvania Township. So after we came the last time, others we'd have asked for it all at the beginning. We didn't realize they were going to ask us to submit plans to them and go through all the same things with them.
So the building will sit.
It will meet your requirements, and it'll be back far enough where the neighbor is now going to be happy with that too.
Yeah, the last time
Yeah.
improvements were done here and ended up in court.
Does that landscape area between the parking that you're putting in and the street, is that pretty much the same size as what's there now in the front, the north side?
Yeah, right now the asphalt actually goes out, and I think the asphalt is the sidewalk, and the sidewalk is the asphalt. It kind of all runs into one across the front, so we're going to change that and put the sidewalk across the front and make sure that it's more defined and more protected from the cars and stuff. Right now, you can pull actually up into the sidewalk space, so we would change that. As you see on our plan, we have a...
So do you have a hard curb there then?
Yes.
That shows? Okay.
Yes.
Does the site going to meet standalone parking requirements, or because of the easement back and forth?
I think because of the easement, it gives us plenty of... Because the times that they're going to need their parking, they're closing at 10, and it would work then for cross-access. We actually want it for the other parcel too, so if they have any overflow, they can park there too.
Right. Yeah,
So it's going to actually help both
So I
situations.
remember, I think you talked about that last time.
Yeah.
You said the
That
other
was-
lot.
that was in here. Okay.
Right.
And there's plenty of parking in the back, but people don't always see some of that parking. We're going to have signage up to indicate that, but this way, it's they see it, they can park in it, and there'll be an easement for both of them.
Did that get submitted from last time? From when we met in April?
The actual easement and stuff, cross-access easement,
Yeah.
no, they're working on that.
Okay.
They're going to put that, they're putting it together now.
Is there going to be maybe like one whole thing now with this? You're going to tie it into this request?
I will. I'm going to tie everything in, so now that everything's all one.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First time I've ever done this one.
You're in good company.
Yeah. Okay. So we own both properties, and my understanding, we talked to our attorney about a cross.
Could you state your name?
Oh, George Simon, I'm sorry, with Gryman Properties.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. But there's already an access easement coming through that property because of the back parking lot. That used to be just a dirt lot, but so that easement was set up so that back parking lot, so that there's always access back and forth through there. So when I asked the attorney to look at that, he said there's already access back and forth through there, so that you could never block that. So my understanding is and I could be wrong here, but he said you really can't do anything with that, so it just has to stay as is. So as far as I know, we're pretty good there. So
Yeah, that would allow people to get from Monroe Street to the back. That I understand. I mean, what we're talking about is to allow people who are, say they're over at the restaurant and the place adjacent is closed,
Correct.
and they want to park there.
Okay.
You own both properties,
Correct.
not a big issue now. But if you went and you sold one of these,
Correct.
you would want to maintain the right to go across the cross-access easement and share parking
Right.
there. So that's
Yeah, we drew that up. That hasn't been that has not been recorded yet. So that's been drawn up, and that has not been recorded yet.
What is our condition or your recommendation, the access or shared parking also?
Well, the shared parking was on the previous variance.
Oh, that's okay, yeah, I was
For the one tonight, the recommendation is a cross-access with the jewelry store property to the east.
Oh, I was thinking it was just access between. Okay.
no, you have it here, parcel to the west.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I bet it's their own. I don't think you don't have any access easement to the jewelry store, do you?
No.
No, it's to the west.
No,
It's
it's
their
to the
own.
west.
Yeah, it's to the west.
On the west side.
They own both. I don't think they're doing anything.
Right, that was the one that was approved 2 months ago.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
For tonight's variance, my recommendation was that they also get a cross-access agreement with the property to the east.
So we need to, he's recommending one for the east. That doesn't even show on the site plan.
No, it doesn't show on the site.
No, I wasn't.
I'm reading
Yeah, I
the
wasn't thinking-
staff analysis.
yeah,
It says
I never saw
variance.
that.
Oh, this is, wait a minute. Variance was approved with condition. Okay, that's what we did. All right.
So is just so it's consistent. So the staff recommendation now is for the east.
Yeah, it
I did
says
go by
the minimum side landscape strip for the east side of the property of 5 to 0 feet. Maintaining the cross-access easement for ingress is drawn up in court for this parcel and
As
the
it-
adjacent parcel to the east as it was done for the parcel to the west.
Okay, so I guess we did at least close that. So have you guys looked into that at all? Do you know, with Jeffrey Mann or? Have you
I mean,
talked-
we talked to Jeffrey Mann. I mean, he's basically, the sooner we tear the building down, the better. He was good with whatever we needed to do to get the
What
drive
he's
through.
saying, there's the cross-access here. This way, it doesn't show it on the drawing.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a little confused about that because I guess we were just trying to get rid of the 5-foot landscaping so that we could have the building all in Sylvania Township.
Have him go right through the drive-through.
'Cause I think that flows so it
I'm not
doesn't.
sure.
You know,
How would you
maybe
do
Ken
that?
can address that.
Right into the drive-through lane.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that here. Yeah.
I think what you talked about before is that in the event that Jeffrey Mann ever sold or something, that there could be
Correct.
access, that we would allow them access through there if it ever worked that way. You know, we're going to have curb obviously around our drive-through, and right now he currently does not want people to exit out through his property and drive through there. So
Correct.
at this point, but I think you asked us before if we'd be acceptable to allowing them in the future cross-access across that if it ever came to that point. And I think we said before we'd be okay if that ever came about or came through.
Right, you could draw it up on your end, and then say 10 years from now, he sells the property, somebody else comes in, then
That is correct. That is what you said the last time, something along those lines. If we wanted to do that, we
But
didn't.
you would be in violation of the condition today, though, so that's why we can't, we can't do a
Yeah, I
condition
don't
on
really.
on now.
Because you typically,
How's it work?
if it's across that, you're going to have no barricade. He's telling you already he's going to barricade it. He's going to put a curb there.
Condition apply today as it would 10 years from now.
Yeah, I
So-
don't really know.
well, but if they have the cross-access agreement in place on their side,
Oh, so you're not saying a condition of the cross-access, you're saying a condition of the cross-access agreement. So
In
you're
your
saying there just
property.
needs to be an agreement
On your
for cross-access.
property.
right?
I think that's what he's saying. That's what he'd said
yeah,
before, to allow secondary access behind the
So
road
where did
to
they
help clean that all up. I remember us talking about it the last time. We didn't apply it the last time because of the landscaping and some of the things that were down through there, but I think it was brought up the last time.
So Daryl, so we're not talking about the jewelry parcel, Jeffrey Mann's
No.
parcel?
Oh, we are.
No, we are.
We are, yeah.
So then somebody filmed.
So in the event of that parcel being redeveloped in the future, then there would be cross-access between the two parcels.
So it's not a condition of the cross-access, it's a condition of an agreement of cross-access. So if they,
We would allow it on our end if the
Right.
neighbors ever sold and they wanted to do something, that the condition would be set that we would allow that.
Yeah, I don't know, if you don't do anything to redevelop and they do, how are you going to give them access? Or you're putting a curb in the drive-through there.
Right.
I don't
You
know.
have
I
to
mean,
be-
I just try, I don't want to, not trying to advise, but I don't know how you're going to be in violation right away.
Yeah, because you'd have to do it behind the drive-through because you couldn't do it in front because you're telling them to go around the building.
Is that kind of, well, there's no.
No way.
There's no
Do it
physical,
behind the drive-through.
there's just no way to do it. I'm just,
It would be difficult. We're not saying we're opposed to it. I just don't know how we would
it
make
almost
it
be Daryl
comply.
if they both redeveloped, that's the only thing.
Right.
I just don't want to put anybody in a jam.
so I'm sorry. So what's the point of having this condition? What's the
a good
whole
question.
benefit of that?
To keep some of the traffic off of Monroe, to have, I mean, ideally, you would have cross-access all the way down Monroe between the businesses.
Of course, with this parcel being a fast food or whatever it's going to be, I'm sure the jewelry company don't want them coming out and taking a hard right and going out this way.
They,
You're right.
they do
Well,
not.
And again,
They do
right,
not.
if
We had
jewelry
asked
store
for
is
that.
redeveloped, I guess I don't understand why you couldn't have the cross-access in front of the drive-through there. Why, I mean, why would that particularly be?
Yeah, if you're saying right up,
Right.
yes, yeah, I'm saying I guess you could have it there at some point, but it just depends on how that traffic's going to jam, and we're going to create more of an issue
That's where I was thinking.
and with the driveway entrances being that exit, the other exit being so close to that, it may just get a little bit cumbersome in there.
What I was thinking is if the order's not ready, they tell you to
Full ahead.
pull ahead, and then that creates a potential issue.
I mean, I don't even know what you're trying to gain, because
Right.
you're not going to do away with the curb cut by doing this. I mean, he still has access to the one, and then the jeweler's never going to give up his curb cut. You know,
Right.
I just don't understand where this would ever even come in. That's all I'm saying.
Or we even need it, though.
Yeah. So,
Well, I don't know that you can necessarily say you wouldn't lose a curb cut if this were to be redeveloped. That, especially with it being ODOT, I mean, that curb cut could go away, and if there were to be cross access with whatever's east of Jeffrey Mann, I'm thinking that might be where the new Target shopping center is, but. You know, I mean, ODOT obviously wants as few curb cuts on their routes as possible. They want to see cross-access all the way up and down their routes. So,
Right.
I mean, they would love to see, if Jeffrey Mann were to be redeveloped, and if there was a cross-access with this parcel, and then lose the curb cut at Jeffrey Mann.
it just makes sense if they're going to do it to the other side.
Which we have that one ready to be submitted to cross-access for that,
Right.
everything to the west, basically, so we can exit out and get to Nantucket.
Daryl, do you know if Jeffrey Mann has cross-access to the east to Devonshire's piece?
No, I don't.
I don't think so. Just for mine, I don't think that.
I wouldn't think so either. I mean,
No,
that's where
I would doubt it.
It's pretty much locked.
That's
It's
where
pretty
it
much
makes sense.
locked. I think it's locked. Yeah.
I was out there today. There, along the back side of theirs, there's all grass, and
Right.
there's probably maybe a couple foot difference, 2 to 3 foot difference between their parking lot level and
Height, that's right.
and height.
Yep.
So that would be there's quite a bit of difference between those. So they do not have access, at least along the south end of that, for sure.
In your thought today, if you're visiting the, you're thinking they would come in through the back entrance so they could go into the drive-through versus, and then going through the drive-through and exiting out the front.
Yeah.
The closest entrance is sort of what you're thinking from a traffic.
And we're going to put a
pattern.
sign up that lets them know that they can enter, that they can go down to Nantucket and come behind the building and exit out the other way if they would like to.
'Cause I remember we talked about that
Right.
specifically too last time, where you could exit out the building and go back down the.
Go back down the same way you can't
Right.
hold in, and then go behind the buildings to get out to the light.
Right.
Which the people that are going to frequent that are going. That's how they're going to exit out. They have to go to the left. That's how they're going to exit out.
Right. I remember that talking about that.
So how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this motion?
Well, that's, I mean,
We just won't put that as a stipulation.
if
Yeah,
that's what the board wants to do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because he didn't, it wasn't submitted with the,
Right.
Right.
He's not asking for this,
No.
so we can just give him this, or yea or nay on that. Okay, do we want to go back and talk about this, or do we want to do it
no, I'm probably good.
then? You good?
Good?
Let me do it. All right, I make a motion for the variance request on the east side landscape strip from 5 feet required to 0 feet provided for the property located at 5299 Monroe Street, parcel number 78-16977, in accordance with STZR Section 3001.
Second?
Mr. Tucker?
I have a question. So
Sorry.
the cross-access easement to the west is still applicable.
Yes, that was in our April.
Cross-access and for parking and for ingress and egress, right?
Yes.
That's the condition in
applicable.
April. Yep.
That was what we did, I think, in April, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Mr. Lamella?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just so, yeah, it's a good idea. Just so you know, so you do not, based on what's been approved, you don't have to be approaching the guy to the east about an access easement. Or more importantly, if he ever redevelops, he has to close his curb, because we'll all be seeing a lawsuit, I can pretty well assure you. No, but anyway, that's, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can we combine the next two together? Is that fine? We don't have to motion them both together, but can we?
Yeah, the same.
It's the same
I don't,
property. Same
same
property.
property, I don't have a problem with that. I'll just read them both. Okay, ready, set? Variance request for a rear side, I'm catching that from you, setback from an in-ground pool from 10 foot required to 6 foot provided at 4624 Skelly Road. Parcel number 7848997, STZR Section 2218A. Also, along with this is a variance request for the front yard setback for a privacy fence for 30 feet required to 20 feet provided at 4624 Skelly Road. Parcel number 7848997, STRZ, Section 2211A. Staff report.
The subject property consists of a single-family dwelling on an irregular-shaped corner lot in an RA suburban residential zone district. The dwelling is sited toward the rear of the property and is neither parallel nor at right angles to either street frontage. The dwelling, constructed in 1967, is legal nonconforming. It sets 25 feet at its closest points from both Skelly and Bainbridge roads. Current minimum required front setback in an RA, as stated in Section 703 of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution, is 30 feet. The applicants wish to construct an in-ground swimming pool on the property and are requesting 2 variances. Section 2218A of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution requires that the water's edge of a private pool shall be a minimum 10 feet from a side or rear property line. The applicant is requesting a variance of 4 feet in order to site the water's edge of the pool 6 feet from the southern property line. This is the property line abutting the property at 4604 Skelly Road. The second variance request concerns the required fencing around the pool. The applicants are requesting a variance of 10 feet so as to locate a 3.5-foot tall privacy fence 20 feet from the right-of-way. Again, the current minimum required front setback in an RA is 30 feet. Section 2218A states that fencing for in-ground pools shall be a minimum 3.5 feet in height, secured with a locking gate, and must be maintained in good condition. However, Section 2211A, while allowing a maximum height of 3.5 feet within a front setback, does so only for open fencing. A solid or privacy fence can be no higher than 3 feet when located in the front setback. While the non-traditional shaped lot at the subject property may be unusual, it is not in and of itself exceptional. However, the configuration of the dwelling on the lot in relation to the street frontages is exceptional in staff's opinion and places a practical difficulty on the property owner's use of the rear and side yards. Staff recommends approval with condition of the requested variance from the rear yard setback, water's edge, for an in-ground pool from 10 feet required to 6 feet provided for the property located at 4624 Skelly Road. The recommended condition being that any pavement or deck on the southern side of the pool is no closer than 3 feet from the property line. That is, water's edge would be 6 feet from the property line with no more than a 3-foot wide deck. This is in keeping with the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution minimum side setback requirement of 3 feet for an accessory structure such as a shed or detached garage, as well as the required minimum distance allowed for a trailer or recreational vehicle to be parked from an adjoining property line. Staff recommends approval with conditions of the required variance from the front yard setback for a privacy fence from 30 feet required to 20 feet provided for the property located at 4624 Skelly Road. The recommended conditions being the privacy fence shall not exceed 4 feet in height within the front setback. The fence shall be secured with a locking gate, and the fence shall be maintained in good condition. Failure to meet any conditions the board chooses to attach to an approved variance may result in the revocation of the variance.
Okay, does anybody would like to speak on this tonight? Thank you, Darrell. Did anybody on the board have a question for Darrell?
I have a quick question, Mr.
Go
Chairman.
ahead.
Would the fence in the front and the backyard be of the same make, like the same design, or the same fence would be used around the entire property?
They can be
Hang on, Bill, we gotta, he needs to
Wait
come
until he
up
comes
here.
up.
Speak of the podium.
Do you know that, Darrell? Did they say that?
My name is Adam Webster. I'm the property owner of the subject property. And the fence along the south property line is a combination of privacy fence of 6-foot and 4-foot type. And it's a little bit in disrepair. We did not reinstall the fence. I was there when we moved in. I would actually propose to redo that fence with a 6-foot privacy fence along the rear line. And then my thought was actually on the southwest property line on the front yard setback that we would do more of a open fence type, actually, unless a privacy fence is required, and we would prefer to screen that with landscaping versus a privacy fence in the front yard. I thought it would be a little more pleasing to my neighbors and for myself as well. In addition to that, I think I included with the package some recommendations from my neighbors for the variance. We talked to each one personally. Anybody within sight of my property, I have some additional signatures here too, if you guys wanted to see them from all the property owners around me. I think there's 9 people total.
Have you submitted, have we seen that yet?
Yeah.
You saw the first submission, and since then I've gained more signatures from the rest of the neighbors.
We've got approval.
Skelly Road Country Club.
So on the south side of the pool, where you're asking for the variance, you understand that you can only do a 3-foot, I don't know if you do concrete.
Concrete, yes.
Yeah.
I understand.
Only go 3 feet.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So, Daryl, based on what he was saying, he was thinking non-privacy fence for the front yard.
Right, which I guess I'm a little confused. You only wanted to go 3.5 feet and do an open fence along the front?
My biggest concern is meeting the 3.5 foot requirement for the pool in general. The style of the fence, to me, doesn't really matter so much, so long as it's pleasing to you guys and to my neighbors. If privacy fence is required, I'll put in a privacy fence.
What,
Well, I think that's what I was asking, because I think the variance request for item 7 here says there's a setback difference because you're requesting a privacy fence. If you're not, and it's an open, with your, as you talked about with landscaping being the barrier there, it's a horse of a different color, I think.
right, you can have up to, if you have an open fence, you can have up to 3.5 feet in the front setback.
Within the 20 feet?
Right.
Okay.
I guess that maybe it's miscommunication. I thought you wanted to have a privacy fence.
You're going to make your privacy out of shrubs and stuff.
Yes. I can definitely put in a privacy fence as well.
Well, I think that's what we're trying to figure out. It's like, what if you want a privacy fence, then you would need the variance. I think that's what we're trying to discover here. If you do an open fence with, as the chairman said, the shrubbery, we don't need. I don't think you need our approval for that at this
Right,
point.
you can go up to 3.5 feet with an open fence.
At this point, I don't mean to be conditional, I apologize.
Yeah.
If we approve the variance for the privacy fence and we choose not to put a privacy fence in, does that bother anybody?
As long as it meets code.
Yeah.
As long as it
You know,
meets code.
it may be beneficial to put in a privacy fence for many reasons, and I guess we'll
Right,
proceed with
I
that
mean,
regard.
The thing is, the pool area has to be secured, so even if you do an open fence and a
Right.
split rail,
Mhm.
I guess you need the
Fencing.
chicken wire
Chicken
or whatever
wire.
it's called
Correct.
in there, but it's still considered an open fence.
Right. Privacy fence.
I didn't put smart rules.
Well, it
Keep
wouldn't
it
be a
simple.
privacy fence, though.
No,
But he
I
wants to proceed.
proceed with it as a privacy fence. I'll make it match the fencing along the south
Okay.
property line.
Then that's what I was that's why I was asking the questions. I did to make sure you were going to use the same one, or if you were doing two different style of fences, because that impacts the
It'll
variance.
all be new and it'll all be the same.
Okay.
Okay.
So then what's the height restriction on the southwest side? If we give them the ability to put a privacy fence in, 20-foot setback,
The restriction would be 3 feet, so anything on a privacy fence. So anything over that would require the variance.
which is covered in this?
Right, that's the second variance that he's asking for is.
Right, I'm saying, what's his height limitation
Yeah,
on
right.
the privacy?
Yeah. I think you have 4 feet here, not to exceed 4 feet height.
That was my recommendation. Residential fences, the highest they can be is 6 feet
Right.
on a property.
So you're going 6 feet in the back?
In the backyard,
Right.
on the back property line, yes.
What's your request on the southwest side? On
4 feet.
Skelly? Okay. Well, then he's fine.
Okay. Anybody else? I think we can vote on this now, right? Okay. Who would like to read it? Tim, you wanna-
Make a motion to approve the variance request for a rear yard setback for an in-ground pool from 10 feet required to 6 feet provided at 4624 Skelly Road, parcel number 78488997. Approve variance request for a front yard setback for a privacy fence from 30 feet required to 20 feet provided at 4624 Skelly Road, parcel number 78488997.
Second?
We're going to do one motion for
Are
both.
we gonna add those conditions in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just add the 3 conditions that are set forth in Daryl's staff recommendation? I can read those. Privacy fence shall not exceed 4 feet in height within the front setback. Number 2, the fence shall be secured with a locking gate. Number 3, the fence shall be maintained in good condition.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter,
Yes?
Mr. Lemanna,
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard,
Yes.
Yes.
It's got enough votes.
Okay? That's it. Motion for,
Before adjournment, I would like to recognize we have our alternate sitting.
I was gonna do that.
That's Jason Levine, who is the
okay.
the board alternate. I thought he should be introduced, and everybody should know.
I was going to do that, Tom.
Doesn't he come up and give a speech?
Yeah, right.
It's like 5 minutes, right?
Anything you want to say? Me too.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome. Now I'm done.
Thank you.
motion.
Nice.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. O'Neill.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Helping.
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes?
Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
Well done.
40 minutes. Nice
Well
job.
done. Get back.
And as of now, we have nothing for the July meeting,
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
which is scheduled for, if you remember back in January, we discussed this.
Nothing in June?
This is
Or, I'm sorry, nothing in July?
It's July 3rd. We